Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for Season 3 of the Rwagnation League. It's been an absolute pleasure to have commentated Season 1 and Season 2 for you all, and now we're back again with the Australian Grand Prix. I'm Ben Raggy McConnell, and joining me is Jamie Amcas Elder. How are you doing?
I am not too shabby, man. How are you?
I am hyped. I cannot wait for this. This is going to be absolutely incredible. And honestly, I love this track anyway, right? But I've looked at the lineup. We're going to look at this in a second, and it's stacked. It's absolutely stacked. It's going to be one of the most insane seasons we've ever had. There is the track that you can see on your screen right now. 16 turns in total. 3.295 miles is going to be the length of the track. There are a good set of overtaking opportunities here. Australia being obviously the initial Grand Prix of every season so far, for the last few at least, that I can tell you of, and I am very excited to bring you the drivers lineup. So in the Mercedes we have Zerd and Martin G as the main drivers, and Beaker and Brownie are the main drivers for Ferrari. They have their own reserves in Jeffs, and in the Red Bull we have Hazard and Nicholas Longe. As you know, he is the Prix Sports driver. Very excited to have him here. Boimels and Blue are in the Renault. We don't have Blue or Nicholas here today. Gooby and Yoltek are in the Racing Point cars, with Yonti and Shadows and Dust in the Haas. In the Toro Rosso cars, we have Yon and Rainbow, and in the Alfa Romeo car, we have Meister and Just Chillin'. These, look, already we're so excited, so hyped. And then you get to Williams. You have it, Nick Turn and Copy. They were the previous constructors winners, with Mizzo and Fossetti in the McLarens. And oh, it's going to be so good. Let's get underway with this Grand Prix. And it's dry.
Yeah. It's a little overcast, but it is dry. I just want to go back to something you said. The first opening race of the calendar, I think it was either 95 or 96. I'm going to say 96 was the first time. It was at the beginning of the calendar at this place. It was previously held in Adelaide. People might remember 94 finish. Not going to ring any bells. I'm still a bit bitter about that. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't heal. That was Schumacher doing what Schumacher does, in all fairness, and doing what he had to do to win. Hopefully we won't see any of that today. But it's overcast. I've not seen a weather forecast. Don't know if you've seen anything either.
Not yet.
Not yet, no. And yellow in Sector 3. I didn't realise they were in Sector 3 already, but okay.
Yeah, lots of people already on out laps. You can see a range of different tyres. You've got the softs, medium, and hards. And for those of you that have not been watching any of the F1 2019, both in real life or in the game, then bear in mind that now there are only 3 compounds at high level face values. You have the softs, you have the mediums, and you have the hards. They are broken down into different compounds. If you go a little bit further than that, see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, I believe it is.
Yes.
Which is obviously more exciting. It means there's different areas, but it does make it harder for the drivers overall. So we are going to look at it from softs, medium, and hards.
Oh.
And I think we may have to re-host the... Yeah, we are going to restart, as 2 people have unfortunately crashed whilst we were loading. So we are going to have a little elevator music.
That's good for Mesa, actually. I was just on board with him. He's starting his flying lap. Tortor came out of the pits just at the wrong time, and they nearly met in turn 1. Fortunately, nothing to worry about because, yeah. But it could have been interesting, that's for sure.
It would be indeed. So, whilst we're waiting for this to be reset up again, I do want to just cover a few important topics that we've not quite missed. So, and Nick Turn and Copy were your constructors champions for last season, right? And they, and Nick Turn did an incredible job of delivering some next level pace. We did the qualifier, and that was insane, right? We had some incredibly good drivers coming through and make it into this season. We've just looked at the driver lineup, and already I have no idea what the top 3 is going to be. I mean, last season it was a bit easier to sort of go with and say this is who's going to be in the top 3. We can look at it. This person's going to do well. That person's going to do well. At the minute, I have absolutely no idea. So when we get into the restart of the race, I'm going to ask you for your prediction. But I will not even be slightly concerned if you don't get any of the top 3 correct.
Do we want to do a season prediction as well while we're at it?
Oh, go on then. I'll let you go first then.
Well,
I'll let you take it difficult.
I think it's really going to depend on who turns up. And by who, I mean one person in particular, because he's not here today. He seems to have gone ghost mode, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on, but...
I think he's a bit busy, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
I think his calendar's a little bit stacked.
Yeah, I mean, if he turns up, there's only one person to look at to take race wins, but he has been beaten on some tracks. and by one driver in particular, he couldn't work out how he beat him. That driver was Bommels. For those who don't know, Bommels uses a controller and has just beaten. It was the other day, wasn't it? At I don't know what track, but
It was Germany. It was Germany.
Crow was beaten by Bommels. Bommels is a controller. Crow is esports. That shows how different this game is. Okay, maybe Crow hadn't practiced as much because he had quite a few things on the calendar, such as the Pro Draft and getting ready for that. But Bommels is going to be... I mean, if we look at each team, let's go through each team. The drivers listed. Mercedes, Zerg could win the championship. Ferrari, Brownie could win the championship. Red Bull, Hazard or Crow could win the championship. Red Bull, Renault, Bommels could win the championship. Racing Point, I can't see, no offence to those two, I can't see one of them winning the championship. Gooby and Yeltec. Haas, Yonti's quick, and Yonti could surprise us here. Toro Rosso, again, I think they could be a good middle team. They could get some podiums if they get a good race on their hands, but I don't think Johan Rainbow do have the ability to put it at the front, in all fairness. Alfa Romeo and Mesa Jushin, both of those could challenge for a title here today of this season. Williams, again, entertaining copy. I can't copy, it doesn't have the pace, but as a team, they are going to be unstoppable. And McLaren, again, similar to the other ones, I don't think we're going to see a winner come from them. So I think there's a good 6 or 7 people that could win the championship, and it is going to be outstanding to watch.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we're just waiting for everybody to just jump back in the lobby now. The lobby's been pretty much set up. We're just ready to get a few drivers in. There's only a couple left to go, one of which is you, yeah. If you can hop in here, that's great.
Notifications turned off, so I can't see things.
Not a problem. However, there is one person in there that you kind of glanced over, and I think we all have, and the reason why is we don't know enough about him. Martin G has in the qualifier completely surprised us. He was very fast, and I want to see him deliver. I want to see him up there as well. And I think Mercedes now are a team you have to keep your eye on, because they have got some very hidden talent, and they're definitely going to be the ones to watch. Again, it does come down to the Red Bull. Hazard has got the pace, but it does come down to how he feels on the day, on the track, at that very moment in time, and it can change very easily for him. But it's very dependent on what he can actually deliver. I want to see more from him, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, well, I haven't actually seen any of him, in all fairness. I'd missed the qualifying, so I didn't see that. I've also noticed Browning isn't here. He wasn't here in the previous league race I just had. But Sloppy is here. Sloppy was a really good driver in Season 1. I think every time he turned up, he seemed to be on the podium. So he could be one to keep our eyes on. Partnering with Bika. Bika, obviously Season 1 champion. Was he 9th or 10th last season? So he'd be a good middle-ish. Hopefully he's upped his game now for 2019 and we can see him back at the front. That would be good to see. It's really hard to make a decision on anything, isn't it, here?
Yeah. I mean, this is what I'm saying. The season prediction, if we we talked about it and we think, if Crow turns up, then we think he's obviously going to take the win. But second and third is just anyone's guess. There are so many people here. They're absolutely able to deliver. I'm looking at the likes of Zerd. I'm looking at the likes of Martin G. At Nickturn, we'll now start to get an idea of just how crazy his pace can be, surprisingly. But like you mentioned earlier, Buemel, I don't know what changed between F1 2018 and F1 2019, but this is definitely not the same guy we saw in F1 2018. He was fast, don't get me wrong. But I was able to keep up with him for the most part. And if I can keep up with someone, then that's saying something, right? But if Buemels carries on being as fast as he is in F1 2019, I actually think he's going to be taking a fair few podiums, maybe even taking a race win or two. Just astounding pace. He beat Crow in Germany, which was a feature in itself. Mizzo's fast, Copy can be quick in a situation. Meister, we know, is absolutely rapid. I am very excited for this.
So, your team. Which team is going to win the Constructors? Let's start with that one, because you got a 1 in 10 chance to get this one right.
Well, yeah, there is that. I have to go Mercedes.
Okay.
I have to go Mercedes. I'm looking at the teams, and there are a few teams that have got like one driver in that team that is excelling. I mean, I'm looking at last season's constructors winners, and I'm seeing Nick Turn being the only driver that was really properly, placing a ton of points in there. Don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from Copy because he still delivered some top-notch level performances. However, it wasn't like he was, he struggled in quite a lot of them. I want to see more from him. I want to see him get into a position where he is getting podiums. But then I'm looking at Mercedes now, and I'm seeing Zerd, who in this game has also found some next level pace. Martin G, who, like I said, surprised me with his pace, and he's also someone else I think will be in a position to take so many races if he really wants to. I can't wait for this. And you may have heard the beeps. That does mean we are underway again. We are about to start the short qualifying again, and I think this time, providing everyone is in, I'm seeing, because Rainbow was one, yeah, he's there.
Zerd's here as well, he missed out.
Yeah, and yeah, so everybody looks like they are in, and here we go. I am so ready. I can't wait. I am so hyped for this.
So
I want to see if Nickton can deliver.
I'm going for constructors to be Alpha. The Alpha dogs to take the championship. Meister is quick. Just Chillin is a great driver. I've seen him race against Meister, and this was in 2018. They were quite good racing each other. Obviously, Meister was a bit quicker, but it's quite hard to make predictions on a new game when I've seen. I don't think any of those race in the league races yet. So it's a completely different ballpark. That's why I put it forward to confuse you. So it's going to be interesting to watch. But this race in particular, I'm going to make you go first.
Oh, you had to do it, didn't you?
Yeah, because you normally make me go first.
Oh, I really, really don't know. I really, really don't know. This is the first time where I've been properly stumped when it comes to predictions. Like, I mean, there's been times where I've gone, I don't know, this guy. But I'm looking at the talents. I cannot work it out.
Should we go for orderless then?
No, I'm doing it. I'm going 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm going to go backwards though. I'm going to go third. And Nick turn third.
Right.
P2. Oh,
Is this qualifying or race?
I think it's going to be a Mercedes 1, too. Both. Race and qualifying. I mean, we'll do the race one again later when I've seen the qualifying. But I'm going to do the qualifying now. So at Nick turn, I think we'll take third. It's now a battle for me as to whether Zerd or Martin G will take first or second. I know they are going to take it, in my opinion. They're going to take first and second. I just don't know which one of them is going to be first and which one's going to be second. I'm going to go Martin G second and Zerd first.
Okay. I am also going for Zerd to take the win, the qualifying pole. Second place, you'll be surprised, but at the same time you won't be surprised. Wommels, P2. Front row starting for Wommels. Controller, don't care, he is quick. P3, Meister.
Fair play. Right, well, for the first time in Season 3, Amkasa, would you like to do a ride-along with Martin G, who's about to start a hop?
No, because I'm on board with Pika. There we go. So, Master G comes around the final corner to start us off then. DRS wide open, you head down towards turn 1, Brabham, and he's going to pick this one perfectly. A little bit over the curbs there. Round turn 2, power down, DRS wide open once again, and this is where you'll see the overtakes. 90% of the overtakes will be here, into this corner. Turn 3 opens up into turn 4. Don't go too wide on the exit of 4 because those curbs are nasty. Up to 5, power through it. Don't lose the back end. He doesn't. Of course, he's good. Then into turn 6 and 7, which opens up through 7. Then a little kink of turn, well, it's a long kink of turn 8. Up now to the Clark chicane. Again, this is another chance you've got for overtaking. It's brave to go down. Those curbs on the inside there are quite high. Now, don't run it into the wall. I thought you'd lose the back end there. And then we come up towards the detection point then for the DRS, which is around here. And then go through turn 11 and 12. And this is where we can see the back end's kicking out. He doesn't, because he's a good driver. DRS wide open once again as we come now down towards turn 13, Ascari. And DRS for the home straight is actually just there. There. Then through 14 is Stewart. That DRS is so early. 15 of Prost, and then power down as you go through 16. Run as far away as you dare, and DRS wide open. And I think that detection point for the DRS is crucial because it is so early on. You can actually make the overtake into Prost and get DRS to defend.
So, I mean, we're what, 4 minutes in. We've just gone past the 4-minute mark. And look at the times: 120.2, 120.5, 120.5, 120.6, 120.7. The top 5 drivers are all so close together. This is just insane. I can't wait to see the rest of the drivers who've not yet put a time in. How many of them are going to make the 120s, and how many of them are going to break into the 119s?
Well, I'm on board with Yawn at the moment. He's coming through the final sector. Only 2 corners left to go. Can he get into the 120s? Can he join the party at the front? Final corner for him. What's he going to do? He's going to keep out the wall. That's crucial. I think it's going to be around 120, 20.7, and there you go. He is in. He's in the party, and so is Yonti as well. Wow, this is tight.
The thing is, we've got 13 minutes left of track evolution, by the way. We've not yet reached the point where the track is going to be optimal, and we're already reaching low 120s. 119s are definitely going to be on the cards here. It's just who's going to get it. I have absolutely no idea. This is insane.
We'll find out shortly then. The opening gambit's sort of done. We've now got the people coming out for their first run. After the opening stint's been done, so just get some clear air. Crucially, the Williams boys are on their way out, Turn and Copy, and they'll be starting their laps shortly. They're not really going to deploy any tow tactics on this track. It's not that type of track, but we'll see it later on as the season goes. Copy and Turn work really well as a qualifying duo. They're giving each other's tows, and it showed last season, as well as in other leagues where they race together, that they work so well. Unfortunately, Copy is just a little bit slow. We've had a go at him in the past for his ERS usage. Hopefully, he's worked out how it works. And ERS is a crucial factor now. It's so hard to maintain. You've got to be constantly playing with that button, haven't you? Otherwise, you'll run out. It's so much harder.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, again, we're not going to take anything away from Copy. You know, he has got pace, and we know that he is, very fast driver. Just we want to see, we want more from him. He's learning a lot from Nicta, and you can see that. And every time I see it, I just want to see him get up there and be alongside him. I'd love to see a Williams 1-2 one day. Just the two of them up there nailing it. We're not going to see it in real life anytime soon, let's be honest. So if we could see it in F1 2019, that would be incredible to see.
And he saw an 8-turn turning into the wall there. He escaped the oversteer, sliding through the exit at 10. Now he's coming up to 11 and 12. And this is a Vegas corner, turn 12. 8-turn nearly makes it 8-turn corner as well. But holds on the rear. We'll see what he can achieve. He's coming through the last few corners. It's looking a bit messy. I think he's backed out. He's in mode 0.
Hasn't. He's now on the home straight, and I want to see if he's going to be the first to break the 119s. It's not going to be. It's going to be up there in a 121.294. He's going to sit P9. Look how close it is.
Yeah, it is incredibly close. I'm just bored with the other Williams. A Copy now coming up to the final corners. Enderton has backed out of his lap, and Copy has backed out as well. So Williams, you reckon they're actually doing laps or just trying to get a feel for the track?
I'm not sure what they're doing. That's the second time they've put tyres on, gone out on the track, and come back in again. It feels like one of them are not quite doing it correctly. It's very odd.
Bommels is coming across the line a little slow there, actually. Hope he's on the hard, so hopefully he'll work out where he needs to go on the softs and get me what I was predicting.
So, Shadows and Dust, someone else who keep an eye on because he isn't slow. He's definitely not a slow driver. He is able to really put himself on the line and put his car on the line. I want to see what he can do. He's out on the minute on a hot lap right now. Well, it looks like he's actually backed out of it. So, an invalidated corner probably.
Definitely backed out. You wouldn't be running mode 1 along this place. And that's slower than I take through that corner.
That's saying something.
Yeah. Just have a look. Oakspeed's miles away. I thought Oakspeed might be able to start. So the front lot are actually out on their second runs now. Martin G's just going through turn 4. He's backed out already. So,
he has, but his teammate hasn't. Look at Zerd. He's really giving it everything right now. Down in P4 at the minute, and I say down in P4, look how close it is between second, third and fourth. It's literally 1/10 separating all of them, and even the same for Meister. It just outside of that, it's 7 thousandths of a second outside of that 1/10. That's just a symbol of how close this is.
yeah, Meister's got 2 corners left of his lap. He's about to finish that, so just on board with him, seeing how he does. Can he get up there to rival Martin G, who has backed out of his laps, so he's 1 lap down on everyone else effectively. Meister improves, he's up to P2. What can Zerd respond with?
So 8 minutes and 15 seconds remaining of the session. Zerd is coming around the final corner now to try and beat. Oh, Beaker's retired.
Sector 3.
Is that?
Zerd goes fastest.
There
Still
you
not
go.
there though.
No, it's not. I mean, the fact that Martin G did a 1:20.2 with about 4 minutes in suggests that he might actually be able to just smash that time apart quite nicely. And it didn't look like it was the cleanest lap in the world for Martin G. There was one point in particular when you were doing the hot lap where he actually looked like he'd lost the back end. I don't think it was just your eyes. I think I also saw the same thing. So it does suggest that there's still room for improvement from him. And definitely we could easily see the 119s today. Just how is he going to do that? I'm not sure.
Just trying to find out where Beaker went off. I'm suspecting it was Vegas corner.
It is the... Oh, well, there's the flashing green flag. It would suggest I can't see any wing damage anywhere on the track. So
I think it must have been there. I mean, Sector 3 starts just before corner 11. So the yellow was in Sector 3, so I suspect it was there. But I could be wrong. We'll let him tell us where it was.
Alright, here comes Jorn round the final corner now. This has been a surprise driver for me. I did not expect him to be anywhere near as quick as he is. And as he comes across the line, he will jump up to P3. And he is just over a 10th behind Martin G. Really starting to show. And I just want to draw everyone's attention to how close the top 6 are right now. The other drivers further down will bunch up even more. Just waiting for those further down the field who've done hards and mediums to put some good pace in and see if they can do it.
I'm trying to work out what's going on with Williams. Dennis backed out once again. His teammate is on an outlap. What is going on with Williams? We've asked that question every week in the actual F1, and we're asking it here now in the EF1. What is going on with Williams? Edison's actually going to put another lap on it. He's soft, so he needs a good lap now.
He's going to put a banker in as well, I think. Oh no, he's not. He invalidated. Alright,
Yeah.
It must have been turn 1. I can only imagine. He's done fine that time around though, so let's see if he can deliver. His teammate up ahead is Copy. He is really tearing as well. I don't know where I would place Copy overall, if I'm honest.
I don't know either, in all honesty. He did finish in the top 10 last season, but that was 2018, this is 2019. It's like comparing a racing car to a building. They're completely different. I was trying to think of something different to a racing car. I think it was a jet. That's kind of similar. They go quick.
Yeah, they do go pretty rapid.
Yeah.
But a Nick Turn still going strong. His teammate is still only just ahead of him and still on a flyer. I want to stay on board with Copy as he's coming through Vegas corner right now.
Oh. I was
He's
just
alright,
about
I
to
think
turn.
he's,
Sorry, I think no, he hasn't invalidated.
yeah,
I thought he might have invalidated. He has lag though. He did cut the first corner, turn 11, quite a bit, and I think he's still going. He just does not look clean. I know he's in the pits. What's Copy doing though?
He's still going. It's going to be a 120.780, so just behind Beaker by 0.03 of a second, less than.
Martin G is out on a lap. He's coming up to the aforementioned Vegas corner. Turns 11 and 12. It's basically Aussie ping pong.
It really is. I never actually thought about it like that, but it is.
You get slightly wide on the exit of 12. Just touch the grass with a wheel while you're accelerating. You just lose that back end. It just comes round and you find yourself looking at traffic coming towards you. as your back end heads towards the wall normally. But mind you, coming around the final corner, can he get out back up to the pole? Can he get into the 119s? No. He has improved. Look at that.
Look at the time between the two of them. 1,000th of a second separates the two Mercedes drivers. As it stands, it's looking good for my 1-2 prediction. My P3 prediction currently is just not pulling anything together. Hasn't actually been able to put a lap in at all. And my surprise pick is Jon. I did not expect him to be there on. Oh, that's where his back end kicked out pretty hard there. But
I'm going to ask you a question quickly.
Go on.
Is it rain in the race and people have got dry setups? Hence why Jon is going like he is, and everyone else has got a wet setup.
Oh, that is the spice. I mean, I did see the weather suggested it was on custom, which tells me. Oh, I thought it was going to go straight into the wall there, which does tell me that it's either going to be.
Well, it was set what it was last time.
In there. Yeah, they'll have set it up to do that. Just, I don't know if that is if I'm just looking too far into it or what, but I would love to see a nice wet race. We saw it in the F2 feature race. I really, really want to see it here today in the Grand Prix. But it wouldn't explain why there are some drivers down there like Wemmels, Yoltek, Hazard, Gooby, and Marco. They're all on the medium compound tyres, and it looks like they're going to stay on that.
Zert's in the pits. He's backed out of his lap. He is going to give it one more shot then. So, 2.5 minutes left. Actually, Zert's getting held up in the pits. Shouldn't be too much of an issue, but he needs to get in the pits and out very quickly. Who should we look at? Yoltek, he's on a flyer.
Oh, Zerd's retired, so he's gone in the pits. But let's have a look what tyre he did. So he did it on the softs, yeah. He's done it on the softs. He only did his one lap on it, so he's fine. He's happy with his current position. There is Rainbow that's retired from the session as well, so he's going to stay P11 at best. So we'll be able to choose the tyre strategy no matter what. It's now the question like Yoltek, Wemmels, Hazard, Gooby, and Marco are all out on the mediums. Are they going to be able to get themselves up into the top 10? And are they going to be able to stay on the mediums? They've got nothing to lose, really. If they can make it into the top 10 on the mediums, then brilliant. If they can't, then they could just start on the mediums anyway.
Here comes Yoltek, though, final corner. What's he going to do? He's coming across the line now. It looks quick. It is quick. It's quicker than some people have done on softs. So that's quite impressive lap then from Yoltek. We've got Bommels, Hazard, Gooby, and Marco still on the mediums. Turn, where is he? He's just started. He's coming up to turn 6, so we'll come back to him. So who is going to finish? Oh, Hazard and Copy are close on track.
Yeah, Copy on an outlap though, so he'll probably get straight out of the way. Or Hazard. Yeah, I mean, he wanted to get as short a line as possible to make sure that he gained as much. Wow, Mizzo, 119.978, the first and only driver to break into the 119s. Hazard's backed out of his lap, so he's going to reset himself to go again. Mizzo really, really giving it the full beans and really spoiling my whole podium prediction.
Where is Editurn then? He's coming around the final corner. He's got Marco in front of him. He's on a flyer as well, and that's going to make a mess. Editurn will get another lap though. He just hopes Marco gets out of the way, I would have thought. He might not need another lap. He's P5. he's cut the corner as well, so he's definitely done.
Yeah, there's no. I mean, yeah, he's definitely done. There's nothing else he could do. So Yonti, hello there, sir. What are you doing in P4? Beautiful stuff there. Well done. Meister, like you said, is someone else who has a chance to jump up there, but now we're seeing a very weak Nick turn for the first time in a very long time. I've not seen this happen in ever.
Well, I was under the impression he was turning off Racing Line for this new game, so he can go into AOR. So maybe that's the reason why he's struggling just a little bit. He's still trying to get used to track dynamics and all that malarkey when you can't see where he's supposed to brake. But Meister knows where to brake, and is he going to break Mizzo's heart?
I think he will. I think he will. Looking at the pace, so when you're going around the final corner, so about now is about a 1:11. So he is pretty much on par with Mizzo's time. It's just now, has he done enough to keep up there and get him. He's not. It's a 1:12.003. It's so close between the top two, but it is not enough for Mesa to take the pole position.
Just chilling.
I don't know who else could beat it now.
I don't think just chilling can. He's backed out. He's purposely backed out as he crossed the line. O-Speed's getting held up by Hazard. Just maybe. Hazard P19. I'll repeat that. Hazard is P19.
I don't think I've seen that in a long time. Like, I mean, Hazard has never been someone to look at for incredibly fast qualifying pace. But still, you know, you normally see him in the top 10. That is exceptional. But honestly, I did not foresee Mizzo and Meister being this fast. The question does come back though. Did they see the weather report? Did they notice it was going to be wet? Either way, they are still lightning quick. And I am very, very, very excited for this. Let's have a quick look at the gap to leader. So, fastest that was a 1:19.97. Oh, no, never mind. We'll have to wait until we get to the graphic standings. It's just insane.
It's setting up for a great season. That's for sure.
Alright, let's take a look then. So, Mizzo takes pole position with a 1:19.978. Then very, very closely behind is Meister in P2 with a 1:20.003. Then you got Zerd. Then you have Martin G. And then you have Yonti. Then Yorn. Then at Nictor. And then Copy. And then Beaker. And that's when you start to get outside of the 1 second margin. But I want to point out the top 7 are within 2.5 tenths of race lead, which is just insane. Then you get Copy, Beaker, Sloppy will be the final of the top 10. Then you have Just Chillin', who's best of the rest, with O-Speed in 12th, Rainbow in 13th, Buemo's 14th, Yoltec in 15th, and I didn't catch the rest because they were too fast.
Well, they were definitely too fast, that's for sure. Right, well, let's see. That's beautiful blue sunny skies.
It does look a nice, dry start to the race, at least. I mean, I kind of got the impression because I saw a lot of drivers on the medium compound tyres, and I honestly, I think if Hazard had gone for soft tyres, I think we would have seen him in the top 10. But
he was on hards.
Bearing that in mind, yeah, he tried to do a harder compound. It didn't quite work out in terms of his qualifying pace, but remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. So we're going to see if the drivers that are starting outside of the top 10 are going to choose the mediums or the hards to start on. Honestly, strategy is I don't know if you've got any information on the strategy, but I don't know how viable a one-stop is here.
I think one-stop's viable on every track. Particularly a medium hard is obviously viable because it's quite easy to do. The softs, I've seen, I was at Germany earlier today and softs had to do 2 stops if they went in onto the mediums. So the soft, medium, medium. I think I saw someone do a soft to hard, so I guess that one is possible. But again, track to track, we'll see. I've not done all the necessary research, but I'm going to predict one stops are viable for anyone and everyone. Just depends on their driving style.
It does indeed. It'll be the likes of the top 7, top 8, maybe even the top 10, to be honest. I mean, I'm looking at it, they're all pretty good in terms of tyre management. But I'm looking at the top 5. They are the ones that I think will actually be able to really chuck out some incredible tyre management pace. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's interesting to see Yeltek and Shadows and Dust down there in 15th and 17th are starting on softs. Interesting call. I don't think that's going to work out too well for them because if they're going to start that low down on softs, they need to get into the top 10 or just outside it on the opening, well, before turn 3 really. Otherwise their strategy is going to be kaput. They will not be able to go faster because they have slower cars in front of them and it's going to really wreck their tyres. We'll see how it works obviously, but I think they've messed up their strategy there.
Possibly. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I want to see the likes of Yoltec and Shadows and Dust pull off a one-stop using softs to hards. I just don't know how easy that's going to be to do.
I reckon anyone that's starting on mediums or hards will be going to the opposite one on their pit stop. The people on the softs will go to hards. Although I'm sure someone will try a soft, medium, medium 2-stop.
All right, very quickly. 1, 2, 3, go.
As it stands.
Oh, all right, all
I said
right.
very
You know what?
quickly.
I'm with you. I am absolutely with you. But I want to see
You
Martin
have to
G beat
change.
Zed.
You have to change.
All
You
right,
can't
I'm
go
gonna
same
go.
to me.
I'm gonna say that Martin G jumps Zed.
Okay.
But now it's time to find out who has been practicing the most. And with season 3 underway, I am so hyped for this race. All the drivers are on the grid. The lights are on now. When they go out, we are going to get underway with season 3 and the Australian Grand Prix. And leading this is going to be Mizzo, who gets a pretty solid start in general. And Meister is also there as well with him. He's actually going to be a nose ahead of him coming up towards turn 1. I think Meister will take race lead. He is ahead, but Mizzo's got the inside. Meister's trying to stay around him on the outside. He's done it. He is up
Oh,
into race
spin!
lead position.
Martin
Martin
Joel!
G.
Huge accident to the back. Martin G overspeed collided, and there's collection again from Marco. Rainbow's struggling as well. Tortor's down there as well. Huge incident. How a safety car will not be deployed, I don't know. That was huge. I don't know if you caught any of that.
I caught some of the aftermath, but I am seeing more action happening further upfield as Mizzo and Zed are side by side. They are coming up now into, big wobble there from Mizzo. I thought he was going to lose the back end completely. There you see Nick turn. He's really putting the paces onto Jorn as well. This is getting so intense. We've only just started the race.
Yeah, your predictions are already out the window as we've just started, but let's see how they take turn 11 and 12. That's the crucial corner, really, I say, on this track. Get this one right, you've got a good chance of slingshotting yourself past the guy in front of you. No overtakes just yet. DRS being able at the end of the second lap, so a bit of time to go before we get to that point. But yeah, I mean, I'm on board with Sloppy on the rear of Copy, and we've got some roaming going on.
Yeah, although Sloppy is not being sloppy, and he's trying to copy, and actually take that position away from him. Slipstream is going to be a huge factor in this one. It's just not yet DRS territory, as we've not yet reached lap 3. I am so hyped for the rest of this race. Currently, it's Meister who is leading the race, takes it away from Mizzo. Mizzo actually lost our place to Zerd as well. So Zerd now in P2. Mizzo sits in P3 right there on the back of Zerd. Jorn is 4th with a Nick turn. He managed to gain a few places at the start of the race, and now he's really trying to close up on the front runners.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see that start again to see if there was if the reason Mizzo's so far back was their connection between him and Martin G. All I saw was Martin G facing the wrong direction. But yeah, so love to see the start once again. I think we'll have to wait to the end of the race before that happens. But we are on lap 2 of 29 as we're coming up to the Aussie Ping Pong. We need to come up with a better name than Aussie Ping Pong. I'm just going to call it Vegas Corner for now. Let's see if they gamble on it. That's terrible. I'll get the coat.
Yeah, get the
Oh!
coat.
Sorry, Bobbles had a tank slapper on there. I thought he was going wall ways, but he survived.
I mean, he's on the hard compound. He's holding the likes of Yonti and Shadows and Dust behind. So that that is a big deal. I am very hyped to see him deliver a good pace. Remember, we've hyped him up quite a lot to be a very fast driver. He's doing a different strategy. It is now DRS territory as well. And I'm looking up the field, and Nickturn is trying to size up Jorn. Remember, there's no DRS here because the detection zone, is before the start of the lap. So we will not see DRS here. It's later on. However, I want to draw your attention to the fuel warning light on Nickturn's car.
Oh, Beaker's just squeezed Yazek off the track. Whether or not that will go down for a forcing off someone off the track, I won't decide that. But Yazek tried to go down the inside of Beaker. Beaker just came across in the braking zone and squeezed Yazek a little bit, maybe a little bit too much. But Yazek gets a great drive off the corner, round the outside of turn 8. Beaker still has it. He's come to the braking zone. I think Yazek might have this on the exit. Beaker's just come across and forced him off track.
Yeah, I think that one might be going to the stewards. I mean, from my seat here, it did look as though, Yoltek did take the outside line, and he had every right to. Beaker just basically hung him out to dry. Although Just Chillin' now he's in big trouble as Yoltek somehow he is delivering some incredible pace. He's still side by side with Just Chillin'. He's now gonna have to do the same thing as he did to Beaker, but this time he manages to get through ahead. Just Chillin' gives him more than enough room to do it, and now Just Chillin's under attack as well, with Buemel's breathing down his neck. Yeah,
it is an action-packed race so far, and I don't think we are going to see the end of this. Obviously, Yeltek taking advantage of the fact that he's got soft tyres to make those overtakes I've just seen. But now he's back up within sniffing distance of Beaker. And that is early. That's lap 4 and a penalty already for current race leader Meister. And is this going to be his downfall over the season? His penalties?
I hope not. I mean, he's not been immune to them by any stretch of the imagination. Especially over last season, there was quite a fair few in some of the races. It did cost him quite severely, but you know, he does make up for it quite a lot in his pace. I mean, he's got Zerd right there in his back. We've got yellow flag sector 3.
Marco's facing the wrong direction. He's lost it at Vegas.
Oh, Jon! Jon's made a big mistake there. That is a huge off. That was where Yoltek and Beaker had a look.
Jonty's collected him. Jonty collected him and DNF'd. He's stuck in the middle of the track. He needs to get that car out of the way. He's got 50 seconds or so before Torsor catches up, or Lucas Webber. But he's just taken out Jonty. Ghosty not being on. And that's the DNF there. Whereas Zerd and Meister, they are coming close together. Going to be some DRS action then.
So many issues already. Lap 4, we've lost 4 drivers. If we carry on like this, by the time we get to the end of the race, we won't have any based on that ratio. However, we are seeing a lot of scrapping and a lot of separation along some of the field. Yoltek is getting back on the Beaker. Beaker made a big mistake there coming out of the final corner. Just got a bit of a tank slapper. And now you're seeing Yoltek on the back of him. DRS wing wide open. Beaker doesn't have DRS. The pace is just so much more. And I have information for you that there is an investigation underway between Beaker and Yoltek for the incident we saw earlier on. Here we go now. Yoltek going round the outside. And I think this time he's done it. Beaker gives him sufficient room. A beautiful overtake there from Yoltek up into P7 now.
Yeah, Yoltek finally making that overtake. Beaker runs a little wide at turn 5 for a good measure. And it's just, I think that's justice really, isn't it, at the end of the day? Yoltek has finally got past Beaker. He can now set his sights on Beaker's teammate, Sloppy, who is in 6th place. Actually, look out front.
Yeah,
oh, dear.
On the back of Meister. Oh, Meister has a little bit of an issue there going into the Australian ping pong. And now you're seeing Zerd with DRS wing wide open. Is he going to go for an overtake? He's got the pace. Look at him charging down the inside. It's going to be a tight one. I think he's going to do it. He's actually switched places with Meister. And now Zerd is your race leader. Meister still on the back of him. And I think Zerd may have made a little bit of a mistake there by doing that overtake where he did it.
Well, sometimes you've got to take advantage of what you've got on your plate. And maybe he was hoping Mizzo would catch up a little bit more and just breathe down his back of the neck just to put him off a little bit. But Mizzo's a bit far back. Beaker's out! He's just lost it off the final corner. Virtual safety car has been deployed. Is that the saviour there for Meister? Virtual safety car. Beaker lost it on the final corner.
I think it might be the saving grace. I wonder if we're going to see anybody pit, especially those in the back that have gone on for like mediums and hards. I mean, some of them. Yeah, I'm looking for. Oh, Toto. He had a bit of an issue there, and he's not quite having a great time. Marco as well. He's still out there. Wing's still fully intact as well. So not sure what's happened, but well, so I mean that's 5 drivers out now of this Grand Prix.
Just keep an eye on the gaps. Actually, I know we've got a virtual safety car out, but someone could really take advantage of their ability to drive under the virtual safety car. I know it's a strange thing to think about, but when you've got a set delta, all it takes is the guy in front of you to be half a second too slow, and you've really caught up to the back of him. Look at Meister and Zerd. We are racing again. Meister's got a chance here with Zerd if they can get the drive off the corner. And Mizzo is hanging on to the back of him as well. See what happens. Nothing.
Yeah. Yoltek further downfield, and I've also been informed that Beaker and Yoltek's incident will be investigated after the race. So we will not be finding out about that situation just yet. We will have to wait for that. However, Yoltek is actually on the back of Sloppy McFloppy, which is Beaker's teammate. And I'm thinking Sloppy is in trouble. He's not going to have DRS because he's just outside of the range on a copy, and you can see he's already going defensive now. This is going to be Yoltek closing up massively. Won't be going for the overtake here. He'll be waiting for the next DRS zone, and like you said in the hot lap, this is going to be where we've seen most of the overtaking action. Slipstream's going to be huge now, waiting for this overtake down the inside. Late little lunge, but I think he's ahead. No. He's giving him enough space, but Sloppy's managed to hold him back, and he forces him off to the side. Again, Ferrari with their interesting tactics. That was Sloppy just getting it. I think he lost the car a little bit, put Yoltek off into the grass again. And I don't know if Racing Point and Ferrari have done something to each other. They've got some bad blood, but there is definitely Yoltek gave a little bit of a shunt there. And we have to go back up the front because the top three are scrapping hard.
Yeah, I mean, if I was in Sloppy's position, I would actually just hand the position back to Yeltic to try and escape any penalties. Just say, look.
Oh, Toto's off.
He's still going though. He's not out.
But that has caused a yellow flag in a crucial overtaking sector. That is DRS there. That means that nobody can overtake whilst that is happening.
He can't get back
Toto,
on. He's back on track now, but...
Yeah, he's back now, but the flag has not yet disappeared, which means they still can't overtake. There we go. Now it's gone. So now the overtake. Oh, and he's gone again. He's lost it again. That's now even more wing damage than before. The tyres are just so cooked to that.
He might be coming in and retiring from the session.
Yeah, we will. I also have information that Sloppy and Yoltek are under investigation for the contact we saw going around turn 3. So we'll see if that gets investigated during the race or not. However, Mizzo is on the back of Meister, even more so than he has been for a few laps now. And I really, really want to see Mizzo getting stuck in. We saw it in particular Canada last season. We saw these two scrapping hard, and it was absolutely magnificent to watch. And now they're doing it again here in Australia a season later.
Yeah, Zerz looks like he's just kicked it up a notch. He's starting to pull away. Yeltsin on the back of Copy as we come up to the Clark chicane. Is Yeltsin going to fancy a shot here? No, he knows the best place is later. He's all over the back there to that Williams. He's actually using ERS. No offense to Copy.
Well, Yoltek is the kind of driver that has surprised me. That'll surprise him a little bit. Although he's still going to go for the overtake anyway. He's actually chosen the outside line, which is a very interesting line to take because we saw it happen earlier, although he's done it. The job has been completed. He is ahead of Copy, and so now his charge, he's going to have to make up for the penalty that he's got, and now Gooby's just got one as well. He's going to have to do a lot. What's happened to Just Chilling? He's made a mistake. That was through Vegas corner. He's still alive.
Meister's pitted. Meister has pitted. So...
Does he have wing damage?
I don't know, I'm trying to get to him, but he keeps moving.
No, he's good.
He just
he's
wants
okay.
a pit stop. Onto mediums. Hards. So he'll be pushing us to the end. It looked yellow, okay?
I'll give you that, it's fine. Yellow flag, sector 1. Let's have a look, see who that could be. It's not Toto. It might be Marco. He's had a fair few issues. He's still, I think he's missing a right end plate now. We'll come back to that in a short while. No, his end plate is there. It's fully intact, so he's okay. He's just not quite having the race that he was hoping for. However, there is a beautiful little scrap going on for 4th, 5th, and 6th with Sloppy McFloppy on the back of Copy, and Copy chasing back Yoltek to try and get that position back from him, but Yoltek is running away.
Yoltek's trying to catch up to Edleyton here. He needs to get there to benefit from the DRS so he can defend against Edleyton's teammate. It's 1.5 seconds though, so half a second off that DRS, and Edleyton has a penalty as well. So that cancels out Yeltek's, but Meister has one. I don't think either of the front two drivers have a penalty as yet.
Yeah, I mean, Mizzo is definitely someone you would expect to get at least one in a race. I've seen him get a fair few in some previous races, but he is quick, and he is quite consistent as well. It's usually when he gets penalties is when he's having a scrap with someone. When he's actually wheel to wheel with someone, he quite often finds himself off the track. Meister on the back of Gooby there as well. Yoltek, just to add to his already existing troubles, as if he's not had enough problems this race. He's just added an additional one. Gooby now, he's under attack from Meister. Meister's going to get a better drive out of the corner. He's going to have DRS as well as a slipstream. And now Gooby is just going to be a sitting duck here. He's got fresher tyres. He's got better pace. He's got so much more performance, although he's still side by side.
Just chilling as well, though.
Meister ahead.
Just chilling's going to come. No! Gooby's off! Gooby's got front wing damage. Just Chilling I thought was going to go off. He lost the rear end going through the second corner, but Gooby lost it worse. Went into the wall and has some front right damage. So Gooby will not be happy now because he's going to have to pit much earlier than he would have wanted. Because I think he's going to struggle to try and take that wing for another 15 or so laps.
Rainbow's going around the outside of Gooby, and it's going to be a tough one. I have informed that Sloppy has been given a 3-second time penalty due to that contact he had earlier with Yoltek. So that's going to be, it'll be added to his race time at the end, and that will potentially lose him a place or two. I mean, looking at how close it is right now, as it stands, he will lose a place to Buemmels. So, you know, he's got the opportunity now to try and make it up, but that's going to be a lot to do.
Yeah, as Gooby picks up a penalty of his own of 3 seconds. He is struggling with that wing. I think we'll be seeing him in this lap, but he's going to have to two-stop it from here. Because if he was on the mediums, then he'll go to the hards, but he's on the hard, so he's going to go... What do you reckon, mediums or softs? If he comes in here.
I really... It's going to have to be mediums. There's no way you could go soft.
He's still going to go. He's not coming in. But
right,
race leaders have pitted.
Yeah, and they're on the mediums as well. Zerd is actually behind Meister. So Meister's done a good job. It's still pretty close between the two of them. They're actually scrapping in the lead up coming up to turn 3. And this is going to be an opportunity now for Zerd to try and take the outside. He didn't quite do it. He actually had to back out and let Meister run away with it now. And I honestly, I want to see these boys scrap a little bit harder. And I think Zerd is going to get the upper hand just based on tyre performance alone.
Yeah, you should see this being an easy overtake, but has Zerd taken a risk with the one stop softs the mediums? As he goes through, they're going side by side, they're getting squeezed. He's still not through, and he keeps out the wall. That's the important part. Now he's going to get some DRS after this little... There's detection, he's definitely got it. Now what's he got in that
there's no
locker?
doubt at all whether or not he's going to have it. And this time we see him again. This isn't the first time we've seen Zerd make an overtake here. He's looking for the inside. Meister cuts across him. Really late move there from Meister. That might actually go to the stewards, and he has just managed to get round the outside, but they're still wheel to wheel. Not yet. Job done. There's a little bit of a nudge there between the two of them. Front wing goes into the back of Meister's gearbox, but no damage. Meister runs a bit deep into the corner. This means that Zerd has an opportunity to really power past him now on the DRS straight. Meister's in trouble. There's nothing he can do. This is going to be Zerd charging down towards turn 1, and he's going to have DRS on the run up to turn 3 as well, just to help him secure it.
Oh.
And Meister gets a penalty as well.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at Meister's moves as desperate. He knew he was going to lose it, but he didn't want to. He tried to do everything, legally or illegally, to prevent Zerd from getting past, but Zerd has got past. Will now be setting his sights on taking down Hazard and Buemmels, who are still to pit, so they should be dropping back behind them when they do pit. Further back, Mizzo just chilling, a bit close between them. End turn, Rainbow and Yeltek. There's a good little battle starting to develop. Fresh tyres on end turn.
Yeah, I mean, Yoltek actually managed to get past Rainbow very quickly, very swiftly. Obviously, Rainbow's on a little bit older tyres, and by a little bit, I mean a fair amount. And Nickturn, though, is on fresh mediums, was further up the pack, and he's already on the back of Rainbow. This is going to be, a little change. That's just chilling, and Mizzo scrapping there, going through at Vegas corner. Mizzo is still ahead, just chilling, is trying his best to pull it back. Wow, yeah, this has really played into Yoltek's hands.
I've just seen something that might be a worry. I'll confirm it for you in a moment. But it's worth mentioning that Yeltek did the undercut on Enter through the pit stops. He was a second and a half behind Enter when they pitted, and now he's a second and a half ahead of him. So that's interesting. My reasons are unfounded, so ignore me. But Zerd has gone fastest.
And Nickturn is making a pass on Rainbow, coming up towards turn 1. It's a DRS overtake. He's done it. Nice and secured. No penalty as well from corner cutting. It didn't look like he actually cut the corner hardly at all. So still there, but Rainbow is not giving up just yet. He's right on the back of him, just has a lot older tyres. I think he's going to have to let this go if he wants to try and take the tyres a lot further than before. But this is the only battle as it stands. There are some drivers that are pretty much there. Yoltek and Nickturn are still around a second and a half from the driver in front and behind. And Sloppy, he is really caught up to the back of Rainbow. Where'd that pace come from?
That's the difference in 10 lap fresher tyres and stickier compound. That's what's done that for him. 0.6 is the gap now. I wouldn't be surprised to see him overtake before we get to turn 13. He'll just have so much more grip through Vegas corner. I did just see a little bit of lag there from Sloppy, but I mean, look at that. He's just gained a tenth in those corners. Nearly 2 tenths. He's going to go for it?
Yeah.
No.
No, this is too late. Although the lockup there from Rainbow means that this is going to be an opportunity for Sloppy to try this, going through the final few corners. You wouldn't want to do it because the DRS detection zone is...
Mate, it's back there.
Oh, he's ahead of him, and he's also ghosted through him because Rainbow's got a bit of an issue, or Sloppy has, one of the two of them. Rainbow's back end kicked out a bit there, and this is going to be a nice little overtake here with Sloppy charging down, although somehow Rainbow's got a lot of pace to keep alongside him.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing, and he just corner cast a little bit there, but Sloppy does have connection issues. You can see that there's bars on the right of his name. He's got one illuminated out of the 4, so he has those connection issues. Going back to the DRS straight detection point, you obviously weren't listening on the hot lap, but it is between 13 and 14.
Now. I remember now. You can leave me alone.
Leave me alone, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, pretty much. Just go back to Sloppy's connection situation. I think we can forgive him. He is from the US, remember, so it is likely that's going to happen, but Copy is coming up to the back of Rainbow as well, so we're seeing Rainbow's tyre situation. Granted, he's on the harder compound and he has also yet to do a stop. If we have a look at that, you'll see he hasn't done it yet, neither is Buemmels and neither is Hazard. And then two are right up there in P1 and 2. It just shows a sort of difference in the pace. And Buemmels, I think he's going to be a surprise pick. I mean, I put mine in P3. I think Buemmels might be in the same sort of situation you said. I think Buemmels might actually take P3.
Well, we will find out. Obviously, he does have to stop, but you will have some really sticky tyres when he does. It's how long can he go? If you can get to lap 19, I think he'll get those softs on. And that's where we'll start to see fast laps. Along with Hazard as well. I mean, I'm not discounting Hazard yet. He might be 5 seconds off Buemmels, but Hazard can be quick, and I don't know why he's not been today. Maybe he just hasn't practiced as much as he thought. End-turn on the rear of Yeltek. That should be an easy overtake when it comes to it from end-turn, obviously with the medium tyres compared to the hards on Yeltek. And Mizzo and Meister are starting to come close together as well. So we are just over halfway, and I would be surprised if we are halfway through the action. And there's a lot more to come.
I think there is a hell of a lot more to come, especially with those drivers that started on the hard compounds and the mediums. They are now going to start to play to their strategy's strengths, where they do the one stop, they make the tyre strategy work. Those that have gone from softs to mediums, they're going to struggle towards the end of the medium stint because the tyres, as far as my calculations go, they won't make it. They won't make it that easily, should I say. I'm also looking at Rainbow and Copy, as Copy's managed to get past Rainbow. I don't think there's going to be any sort of comeback at it, but he does have DRS, so he might be able to close up a little bit and protect himself a bit and maybe go for an attempt into turn 3, but it's going to be a tough one, and we're seeing more action further upfield as Zerd has caught up to Hazard.
Yeah, it is Shazoo versus Shazoo. Zerd is quite far off, but he will have just more grip on the exit of these types of corners. He doesn't have DRS actually. He closed up that much in those final few corners. They didn't get DRS. That's quite impressive actually. So he's gained.
Nick Turn and Yoltek. Sorry, and Nick Turn's managed to get past Yoltek. So that's P6, but he's gone deep into the corner. Yoltek had a look there as if he was going to try and get a move done on him again. They are pretty much equal on the tyre wear, but they have different compound of tyres on. So that means that Yoltek is actually slightly at a disadvantage in comparison. The only thing to think about is Nick Turn is still running a yellow warning light on his fuel. So he does not currently have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. However, this isn't the first time we've seen him do that. He may know something we don't. I think he's just trying to run the lighter car. Yeah,
I'm just on board with Zerd. He's got DRS then on Hazard to come down towards turn 13. He should be through. It's close. Under braking, he takes him. He wasn't fast before then. As behind Mizzo and Meister staying as they are, and Yeltek and Etiton staying as they are as well.
But Mizzo is on the back of Meister now, and you're seeing the difference in performance from the mediums to the hards. Looking at it, from everywhere I can see, all the data I can gather from the drivers on the track, it is a suggestion that the mediums are so much faster than the hards that, you know, it seems like even a two-stop strategy would have been better than a one-stop from hards to mediums. However, we're going to see at the end of the race if it worked out for any of them, as Buemmels is still race lead by 4.6 seconds, and we're seeing Mizzo now look for a move down the inside. There's contact between the two of them. It's wheel-to-wheel racing. It looks like Meister's going to get given the position back again from Mizzo. Now Mizzo has an opportunity to really pressure Meister even more, make Meister burn all of his ERS. So if you look at the levels, it looks like Mizzo's not quite having as much fun as he wanted on the ERS levels either. And now it's going to be a run up towards the a nice little 11-12 section. I love that little area, just purely because of how much pressure you can put on the other driver there if you get a better exit.
Did I just see Sloppy get a 3-second penalty?
I think you did.
I saw something flash up. I don't think it was a 5-second, but he already had a 3-second given to him by the stewards, which I hope he is aware of. And now he's just been given a 3-second for corner cutting. So he's got his work cut out. Obviously, we know Meister has 6 seconds, and a little nudge from Mizzo to go with it. What is Wormels doing? Is he coming in? No, he's still going.
He must be going hards to softs.
Yeah, this could be interesting.
I mean, let's have a look at the gap to leader. The gap to leader, it's around about a 20-21 seconds pit stop. So if he doesn't have a particularly fast one, he'll end up P9 outside behind Rainbow, as Mizzo is going now on the inside. He's got DRS overtake going up into turn 2. He's done it now. So Mizzo ahead of Meister, 9.4 seconds behind Zerg. But yeah, just going back. So if he does pit and he has a relatively slow pit stop, he will end up behind Rainbow. And as long as he doesn't get a 5-second stop go penalty, then he's actually really good in terms of race pace. He gets on the softs and he'll be able to just fly.
Yeah, so he was about 5 seconds ahead of Hazard when Hazard pitted. Rainbow is still to pit. He's 17 laps in on those hard. So I think he's going to, if he pits this lap, he'll probably come out 2 or 3 seconds ahead of Hazard. Obviously, Hazard is going to be flying on these mediums, so he might actually come out even closer than that. Hopefully, for Bomber's sake, he won't. So it's going to be quite interesting to see what he does, because you're now getting into the soft window. And he's going to be really struggling for grip. Zerd is only 2.2 seconds off the back of him. So he is. One question I'm still trying to work out is, can those mediums get to the end of the race?
I really, really don't know. It's just, personally, I think no. I think we're going to see. Oh yeah, Buemels is in. Perfect. Right. Let's see where he falls out. Will he come out in front of Rainbow? That's ideal if he can,
no,
but it's going to be a tough one, and he's really demanding on his engineers.
Softs. It's soft.
This is exciting. Let's go. This is going to be so
Rainbow?
good.
Rainbow's coming around the final corner. He's going to pits, so never mind. So he's just going to come out ahead of Hazard. That's the only thing he's got to worry about now. Hazard is coming down the home straight now. So he will be ahead. Yeah, by a fair distance actually, but soft tyres on Bommel. Everyone else around him have got worn mediums. Come on, Bommels.
I mean, this guy has esports level pace, remember. Well, at least on a particular track. Whether he's got the esports level pace here on this track. Yeah, he's using a controller. Like, that is insane. This guy is next level, and we need to keep an eye on his times, as he's 3.4 seconds on copy, and it is coming down quite swiftly. Something else that's coming down quite swiftly is Yoltek's gap to Ed Nickton. He is in a position now where he is sort of hovering around the 4/10, but he's just got a bit wide there. And DRS being available to him now means he will be able to apply some pressure to Nickton. He needs to make sure that Nickton doesn't get within range of Meister for a DRS, as Yoltek will need to use DRS on Nickton to keep up with the pace.
Yeah, the one thing I would like to know, I don't think anyone here will actually know the answer. Can you get into esports and be at an esports event using a controller? Can you be a pro driver using a controller?
I mean,
I can't see a reason why you can't.
I really don't know.
I'd be quite interested to find out. I mean, yes, okay, this is months away, if ever. But Borbs is quick. We know that for a fact. It's just whether or not he can deliver on a controller at a big event like that. If he actually wants to go for it, but I think his downfall is doesn't he have to use automatic gears?
I don't think he has to. I think he is doing it. I don't know
because obviously you get marked down in the esports qualification, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Challenger.
Yeah, he would, but I honestly, I don't know if he actually
though.
uses automatic gears, because having automatic gears makes it so much harder to take corners at the speed that he's doing it at. Like, you lose a lot of turning ability, and I think Buemels would actually be hindering himself if he was using automatic. However, we'll have to ask him after the race and see if he can confirm it. However, look at Meister on the back of Mizzo. 6/10 separates the two, and he's still running on the hard compound tyre. I'm looking at Mizo's ERS though, and despite the fact that Mizo is on medium compound tires, Meister is doing a phenomenal job of keeping up with him. He's actually gaining on him right now.
Yeah, but Bournemouth and Copy are going toe to toe. Fresh softs versus rather old mediums. And see you later, Copy. Who's spun in sector 1? Yellow sector 1 too. Now sector 2. Are we looking down the back end?
Well, I am. I don't see who it could possibly have been though. No idea. However, I want to go back up to the front because Meister is still on the back of Mizo. Nothing has changed as of yet. But the one thing to spot is Mizo's ERS is being destroyed right now. Mizo is having to use his ERS to protect himself from Meister, and Meister has the ability to hold Mizo at gunpoint. Meister just basically says, right, look, I'm going to be all over the back of you. Your tires are starting to crumble. Mine are still fine. I've got plenty of life left in them. You're going to have to burn all of your ERS to keep me behind you. Whereas I can cruise. I've got DRS. I've got slipstream. I can do what I want, and you can't stop me. And now you're seeing how much pressure Meister's applying. Yeah,
so 54% on Meister compared to 17 on the Mizo. I mean, Meister could just shift it into hot lap for nearly a full lap. Well, half a lap. Mizo can't run hot lap for a straight, basically. Meister's trying to get some clean air. Obviously, engine heating is a real thing now in 2019. Other thing I've seen in a previous race, I don't know if you saw it, gearbox issues are a real thing. I've seen someone actually have gearbox problems during a league race, and it ruined his race. It is a real thing. You need to keep your engines cool. You need to sort your gears out. You can't do what you used to do. They've finally started to punish people for over-revving and things by messing up their gears. It's good to see. Really good to see.
It's brilliant, and it's exactly what we needed from a simulation racing perspective of F1. We're starting to see what the drivers in real life... Oh, Meister nearly put himself in the wall there. But yeah, we're starting to see what real F1 drivers have to face with on a regular basis. They have to consider these temperatures, right? These drivers are really starting to become closer and closer to real life situations. And in 2018, you used to be able to run in rich pretty much 2-3 laps in a row and not have to worry about anything because you'd have 3-4 laps extra fuel if you were really outlandish. Obviously that was unrealistic because you'd mainly go for sort of 2 laps, maybe even 2.5. But now they can't run in rich for much more than a half a lap because their temperatures just skyrocket, and if they're running in hot air, it goes even faster than that. You've got no chance of being able to really just run it non-stop. And that's why you're seeing Meister moving to the side to cool his engine, cool his brakes, and make sure that when he brakes into a corner, he doesn't lock up and go into the back of Mizo.
Yeah, absolutely. There's battles going on behind as well. Bobbles has course out to the back of Sloppy. 0.7 is the gap there. I think we'll see an overtake quite quickly on that one. But yeah, so Mizo Meister battle. How are they doing? I think from now on they've got to be going to the end on these mediums. It's not worth pitting unless you are about to get a puncture. If they're going to pit, they need to do it 3 laps ago.
Look at the ERS levels between the two of them though. Mizo 20%, and that's after a braking zone. Meister 63% after a braking zone. And now you're going to see Mizo in trouble. I think next lap is when we're going to see Meister just go straight on past him as if he's not even moving. And speaking of that, Wemmels might be doing the same thing further downfield on Sloppy. I just want to stay on board with Meister because he's in mode 4. He's on Mizo now looking for a move. This is going to be a very late lunge going into it. There's contact between the two of them. Back end steps out a fair bit. No damage between the two of them. Manages to keep himself alive and pointing in the right direction. So, yes, he did almost make a move stick. But he's now lost a lot of time. He's now down to 9/10 of a second. And Wemmels is closing up on Sloppy. This is going to be a done deal.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is working out very well for one person in particular, and that is the man now in P6. These two battling are bringing Etiturn into contention, bringing Yelsek into contention. Bournemouth hasn't got a penalty. Yelsek does. Meister does. If Bournemouth can continue this charge... Does he? Yes, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
So, if Bournemouth continues this charge, doesn't burn the tyres off in the next few laps, he could be on the podium. Won't be on the podium with a penalty like that,
could. I mean, like I said earlier, once I saw the MotoG was out, I thought, all right, well, that's Wemmels. He's going to take the third place. Clearly, he's easily in that sort of position to do it. But I want to draw your attention to Zer. We've not paid him any attention because he's not had a reason to be in focus of attention. He's 8.6 seconds clear, apart from that, but that's not even going to matter. 8.6 seconds clear of P2. He is flying, and he's really stepping up to the mark and showing everybody how fast Mercedes are. And if Martin G had been in the race, I think he'd have been actually up there with him, delivering a similar sort of pace.
Yeah, that could have been interesting to see those two battle for the race lead. But at the moment we are watching Mesa and Mizzo battle for P2 and 3 for now. Penalties obviously will be applied. We're on 25 of 29. We are in the twilight stage of this race. Mesa fakes the dummy, tries to go around the outside, nothing there. Now he's going to have to drive off the corner that he wants. Look at that. DRS is open, he's really passed.
I mean, Mizzo's trying to stay alongside him, and he's also the kind of driver who would look for a gap down the inside if one appeared. But Mista is up in a P2, Mizzo's still on the back of him, and now roles are reversed. So the question that Mista's got to ask himself is, do I have better tyres than Mizzo? And am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to defend better than Mizzo did? Because Mizzo had to burn a lot of ERS to keep himself in the fight with Mesta. Now he's in a position where he's got no ERS. Mesta is very much in a similar position. He burnt so much to get the overtake done that Mizzo's trying now to recover himself, ready for the second to last lap, or maybe even the final lap.
Yeah, I just had a quick look at Zerdy's. I think he's a bit bored out there, in all honesty. 9.3 seconds is his lead. I think he could afford doing a donut in the middle of the track and still take the lead. He's that far ahead. Almost, I think his tyres have started to disintegrate on him. He is gaining on Yeltek, but it was about half a second in the last lap and a half. So he'll gain up to the back of him towards the end. And whether or not he'll gain a podium through penalties, we'll see. I think he has a good chance. He's just got to not kill these tyres off in the last few laps. 3 laps to go. Easily said than done. And that's just a little battle going on. Just Chilling and Shadows and Dust. Last of the points positions here. Could be worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, exactly. I remember the same situation as last season. The top 10 at the end of this season get to stay in for season 4. And those outside of it have to fight for their right to survive and stay in the league. So having that one little switch of position, that 1 point may make the difference. If you remember last season, it literally went all the way down to the final race as to who the top 10 were going to be. So it's a big deal to make sure you get every little point and do your best to deliver.
Yeah, in sector 3, I'm going to assume that is the one person and one person in particular. He's just got a 5-second penalty for ignoring a blue flag, so he needs to sort himself out. I wonder if the stewards will have a look at that and tell him to just, if you're a lap down on the guy in front of you, just retire. If he's 2 laps down on the race leader, pretty much a lap down on Marco is Tortor. I think he needs to just call it a night. Or Gooby has called it a night. Sector 3.
I don't know if he's done that intentionally or not.
That's sector 3. That could be Vegas corner. I'm still on board with JC as we come up to it.
Yeah, so JC on the back of Shadows and Dust. 5 laps better on the tyres. 2 laps to go. 3 if you include the remainder of this one. Shadows and Dust is in big trouble now. Goes defensive down the inside. Here comes JC round the outside. I think he's done it. He's just trying to make sure he gives him enough space to protect himself, but he went a bit too far wide. This means that Shadows and Dust now, he's able to go down the inside and actually regain the position. But that is a mistake, because now Just Chillin' has got a very close gap between the two of them. He does have DRS as well to help him through this, and he has a lot of ERS he can just deploy here. The question is he going to try it here, or is he going to wait for the next one? It looks like it's going to be the next one as Shadows and Dust goes defensive. This is going to be a tight one between the two of them. JC is through. Shadows and Dust stays P11, and with that DRS being available, that means JC will be able to protect himself and secure P10.
Yeah, he took advantage of the much better drive off that corner and took the Shadows and Dust in the last point position. Gooby died on the final corner of the lap, similar to Beaker. From my positioning, guessing from Marco just passing him. But here we are, about to start lap 28 of 29. Podium still isn't decided. It's getting closer to be decided, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, P1's decided. As long as he doesn't get, I don't know, some sort of like engine failure or anything like that, he's got the race win. Meister and Mizzo, they are literally scraping and fighting as hard as they can to take their second place. Something else to notice though is, and Nick Turn's only got 3 second time penalty, right? And he's also just over, just under, 2.5 seconds between Mizzo and Meister. So if either of these two get another 3 second time penalty, Nick Turn will jump up into a podium position. That is a big deal.
He's just missing out at the moment, isn't he? Because is Meister on 6 or 9?
I didn't think he had more than 3.
I thought he had 6 at least.
Well, I guess we're going to have to wait now because I'm
We'll
really
find
not
out.
sure. However, Mizzo, half a second, just lost out a little bit there on the exit of that corner, but you are seeing Meister's ERS levels running pretty low. He's trying to regenerate as much as possible. We've only got one more lap to go after that. This one is finished, and race leader is not far off starting that final lap. It's now going to be Meister feeling the pressure. Is he going to be able to keep himself clean enough? Mizzo is going to be trying his hardest to break the gap down. He saved all of his ERS that he could accumulate over the last couple of laps for this exact moment, and I think we're going to be seeing a very, very close, very tense final lap.
Yeah, 0.6, 0.7 now between them. Meister got a much better drive off the corner than Mizzo. Meister does a bit of weaving on the straight to try and break the slipstream from Mizzo, but that actually helps Mizzo a little bit. Just get some fresh air into his engine to just cool it down just a little bit. But 0.7 is the gap, and I think Meister has this in the bag. Whether or not he'll lose it through penalties, we'll see, because there's still we're on corner 5 of 16, so still 11 corners to go. How's that for quick maths? We'll see if he can actually hold on to that position. Elsewhere, N10 2.5 off the back of Mizzo. Yeltsin 1.6 off the back of Eckington. Wommels is not gaining as much as we would like to have seen for him to challenge, but he's still there, penalty free. 2.5 now off the back of Yeltek, and he's actually dropping back. So has his tyres hit the cliff? No, because he just closed out. We'll find out. Stay tuned.
Well, this is the important sector now of the track. Mizzo has DRS. He is actually losing time to Meister. So we'll go ahead and look at our race leader, who's going to come around the final corner now. Zerd delivering a huge performance here today in Australia. Absolutely astounding one-stop strategy. It's worked out beautifully for him, and he takes the race win here in Australia for the first round of Season 3. Beautiful stuff there from Zerd. Meister will cross the line. Has he got too many penalties? We're about to find out as Mizzo jumps him. He takes P2, and Nick Turn will take P4. So Meister finishes third. Yoltek gets a 5-second penalty that he didn't save for speeding in the pit lane. You've seen him now drop down the order. Buemmels manages to make a huge jump overall. He's one of the biggest gainers here, the biggest winners, as Hazard is the biggest one with 10 places gained. And you've seen Sloppy in 6th, Copy in 7th.
Look at those gaps though, Yeltek and Copy and Enterton and Meister. Those gaps are so close, that's what it came down to. In terms of the podium, look at that, 1/10. In terms of 7th place, 0.035. That is what it takes to get more points. It is a blink of an eye. Less than a blink of an eye. It is that little between cars.
What an absolutely incredible Grand Prix that was. The F2 feature race just before it was incredible anyway. This Grand Prix just topped it off, and it's, you know, it's a shame that we lost Martin G in the very first lap.
Yeah.
I would love to have seen him competing up there, and I think he would have seen a very different story today. But nonetheless, the story was an exciting one, full stop. We saw incredibly close battles across everywhere. We saw Yoltek really starting to pull himself together and get right there battling with everyone. We saw that there's now a rivalry between Ferrari and Racing Point. Well, Ferrari and Yoltek specifically.
Well, yeah.
And, you know, it is so good to see the pace being this close. And now it's so good to see Zerd on the top step of the podium, takes the 25 points in his belt. I didn't catch who got the fastest lap, but there he is, hoisting the trophy high. Beautiful stuff. Mizzo takes P2, Meister takes P3 after such a close race. I'm impressed. But my question for you, Amkasa, is who is the driver of the day?
Buemmels. Fastest lap,
Buemmels,
14th to 5th, penalty free. on a controller. I know we shouldn't give him credit for being on a controller, but yeah, you can't knock, can you?
Well, I mean, for me, it's got to be Zerd. Started
Fair enough.
P3, absolutely dominated the race, delivered a high level performance on that one-stop strategy. You know, absolutely nailed it. Won by a huge margin as well. To really deliver that, Zerd definitely driver of the day, and also my pick to keep an eye out for the rest of the season. I think he will be in a very good place to be the drivers' champion this season round. But that is it from us here in the Rwagnation League. It's been an absolutely incredible pleasure to be able to commentate for you. I've been Barry McConnell, and this has been Jamie M. Cass Elder. And in case you can't tell, my voice and my words are broken. It's been